Hey there, lovely people. Welcome. If it's your first time, welcome back. If you are returning, so today I wanted to, as we start our drive, because we are about to head somewhere, I wanted to talk about peace and how you can orchestrate peace in your life. And I'm going to title this "You Too Can Have Peace," because you can. So if you don't know, on this channel we talk about going through life as best as we can, because life happens, and in the midst of life happening, we can go through it together because every day is different. Some days are amazing, outstanding. Some days are tough experiences. But at the end of the day, it's life, and we go through it as best as we can. And we share with each other so that we can all go through it just a tad bit better. So I want to get started. As I pull out of this parking lot, the first thing, number one, is pursue purposeful living. And with pursuing purposeful living, you want to align your actions with your values and your passions. So if you're someone who you light up when you're gardening, even if that's not your profession, that's something that you are going to want to incorporate in your life, and maybe share with others. So that's just one example. But if you love doing hair, maybe you're not a hairstylist, but maybe you make time to do your own hair or do others' hair, because that's something that maybe you find a release, or it's a way that you can, let go, and kind of lose track of time. When I think about things that are purposeful or things that are passionate, that we can be passionate about, I think there's things that we can kind of lose track of time when we're doing it. If you're struggling to find out what that could be, I think that's a sign. That's a way how you can kind of determine what those things are. And then, let's see, number two, I don't think I missed anything with that one, but number two is practice self-compassion. And I think we experience criticism or judgment from ourselves first, usually. The phrase, "you're your worst critic," comes to mind. And we are. I think it's because we do want to reach levels of success. We do want to accomplish a lot of things. And I think sometimes when things are not happening on the time frame or the timeline that we want, sometimes we can be down on ourselves. Sometimes we don't know the best way to encourage ourselves to get there a little faster, get there a little quicker. And so sometimes it comes across as discouragement or skepticism. But I want to encourage you to dish out kindness. Like, you know how at some weddings people throw the flowers? You do that for yourself. Throw those flowers for yourself. Not necessarily flowers, but being kindness. Just dish it out to yourself, because you need it, you deserve it, and it's going to help you reach your goals a lot faster. Also, too, while you're sprinkling yourself with those flowers, keep in mind that when you experience a setback, that's the time that you want to give yourself a lot more of that kindness, because that's a pivotal point where you could end up really discouraging yourself, and really being stuck and possibly losing a lot of traction for whatever your goals may be. But knowing that when you face a setback, that's the time that you're going to want to up that dosage of kindness for yourself, and just know that sometimes taking a few steps back, or what we call setback, sometimes experiencing a setback can be a catapult experience, where it's like you've got some experience, you got some knowledge, and now you can go farther a little faster. So I will caution you to just note that at that point you'll need a little bit more encouragement, but just know that that's a pivotal point where you really can make up some lost time, because you do have some experience, because you have gone through something that was very difficult, and you learned. I'm sure lessons learned are really big for me. I don't know if when you do encounter something and it maybe is not the way you wanted it to go, taking a moment to capture or reflect on what you learned can go a long way, a very long way. So I would encourage you to just reflect on some lessons learned there. And then number three is nurturing positive relationships. You are going to need people around you that are encouraging. You're going to need people around you that are supportive. And I'm sure you understand the value of that, right? Where you can also do that at whatever capacity you have. You can do that for someone else as well, because it might be that someone shares things they're working on with you, and then you share things that you're working on with them, and you know, if they have any insight or knowledge about it, they offer you some encouragement. If you have any insight or knowledge about what they're working on, you offer them some encouragement and some guidance, maybe a little direction. Share some of your lessons learned. Maybe you've done something similar to what they're trying to do, or you have some insight that you can share with them. I think making sure that we keep that circle positive will take us a long way. And sometimes people are not necessarily negative. They just don't understand. You might be working on something, and maybe people in your current circle they don't understand maybe what you're working towards. So for them, it's a concept that they can't grasp. And so in order to protect you, they might say, no, you don't want to do that, or you shouldn't do that, or oh, I saw so-and-so did that and it didn't work out for them. And they are trying to caution you because maybe their exposure or their experience to it is limited or has been negative. And, you know, we do that sometimes, right? Where we want to protect those around us. But sometimes with protecting people, we can almost limit them, or, you know, cause their span of life to remain small, not help it expand, if that makes sense. So just know that sometimes when someone is not encouraging you or maybe discouraging you, the intent may not to be negative. The intent could very well be to just try to protect you. So just keep that in mind too when you're trying to figure out, you know, why is someone always, you know, not supporting me? They're always very discouraging, and just give them a little grace. Just give them a little grace, because they may just be trying to protect you with the limited knowledge that they have in an area. So I want to encourage you to give them a tinge more grace than you have maybe given them in the past. Ooh, that sun is so pretty. Hold on, let me let y'all see it. Okay, how bright it is. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and also too, if you're trying to figure out who are the supportive people in your life, or how will I know that someone's supportive, just think about, I like to ask, you know, you can ask, I help people sometimes with this, how does that person make you feel? Or what person comes to mind when, you know, you think about, they really made me feel like I can do it. Just thinking about what feelings does a person invoke in you. And I think that can help you identify those people that maybe are supportive, or identify those people that are very positive. That's kind of a simple, quick exercise. And if you're like, hey, you know, actually not a single soul has come to mind, that is something too, where you then know, okay, as I'm working on building my circle of support, here are the things that I want to look for. What feelings do I want? What feelings surface? So that way I know, okay, this person might be supportive. This person might be somebody that I can kind of share some things with, and really, you know, build a relationship with in terms of, like, you know, goal sharing or different things like that, to where it feels kind of safe, where, you know, not that to say that they're going to be like, every idea you have that's amazing, girl, you know, but they may, this might be someone that you can kind of bounce some ideas off of, just being able to know that, okay, they do seem to have a positive outlook on life. Sometimes you don't want to share things with someone and their outlook is often grim or bleak, you know, so number 4 is be physical, get active. You want to move, you want to walk, do some sort of exercise, yoga. You can do different movements. Those help you reduce stress, and they can also be a quick way to boost your mood. People aren't a fan of jumping jacks, but jumping jacks really get your adrenaline going. And it's just a good way to get some movement going, and release, you know, endorphins and all that good stuff. So number 4 is be physical, be active, get moving. Number 5 is seek solitude. Spend some time alone. Make time to spend time alone. You know how in certain places, people are sometimes punished with solitary confinement, but we in our lives need to spend time with ourselves. So voluntary solitary confinement, I think, is something that you can incorporate in your life, just so that you can have time to reflect on things, be in a safe space, allow your mood, if you have any anxiety, just allow that to subside, allow that to quiet itself. So spend some time alone, make time to do that. I think that would definitely help you maintain your peace. All right, number 6, relinquish control, honey. Let it go. Just knowing that you control you, they control them or themselves, and that's how it is. You wouldn't necessarily want somebody to control you, just as much as somebody else doesn't want you to control them. So making peace with that, and knowing the things that you control and knowing the things that you don't control, that in itself can help you with setting expectations, knowing your limits, and knowing where you have a certain measure of control, which is with yourself. So just know that you control you, they control themselves, and make peace with that. And number 7 is regular relaxation. Don't do it sporadically. Don't do it every now and again. It could be part of your daily routines. You could have a time where you allow yourself to read some books, some new book, some self-help book, some book that you can get encouragement from, even if it's just one of those, fiction books, if you want to read a fiction book on a story that is interesting to you. But making time to relax regularly. Some people do bubble baths. Some people like candles. Have you ever smelled like the essential oils that you can do? You can make blends with them. You can put them in a diffuser. You can use candle warmers. You can be in a dim lit area, or if you have like some of those dimmers, or if you sit in a room and you can use a lamp only. But I think having some sort of way that you can relax. You know what's old is rocking chairs. That's going way back. But sometimes just that rhythmic motion, and babies love it too, but sometimes just a rhythmic motion, you can do that similar to like with a hammock. I don't know if you've ever been in a hammock, but just something that's calming and relaxing, and there's nothing pulling on your mental space, where there's mental fatigue is real. So not just physically fatigued, but we can be mentally fatigued from work, from extracurricular activities, from people. So just having a space where it's calm, it's relaxing, nothing is expected from you other than to just be yourself and relax. So that's the one that I want to end on, but it's a cozy note to end on. Peace can be had. Peace can be yours. It's not the easiest thing to maintain at all times, but it is there for you. If you choose to allow peace into your life, it is available to you. It is for you. You can have it. I can have it. We can have it. We can have peace. It's a beautiful space to be in, to be able to maintain a peaceful life. Can definitely be helpful. Just go forward and know that peace is yours to have. It's there for me to have. It's there for you to have. We just have to know a few techniques and tactics to make sure that it stays a little closer to us at all times. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you continue to grow and better yourself, and maybe even those around you, just from your example. I feel like a lot more people are working on themselves. I mean, it could just be what I'm choosing to focus on, right? You remember the other video where I mentioned that, the blue car effect or the red car effect, but I think a lot more people are working on themselves, and bringing people along in our healing journeys. I think it's really good for our mental health. I think it's very good for our past and future relationships. Yeah, so if you are enjoying this, please let me know. You can leave a comment. Also, all the things. If you could like this, it can be pushed out to more people. And then also, too, if you felt like you got any value, you can subscribe. And then we'll see each other again in another video. But yeah, go forth and have peace. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.